Hi guys, I'm going to do a beauty product review today. I thought that I would try doing a video blog as opposed to just a normal written one with pictures, just because they can be a bit more interesting. It's my first time, so I apologise if it's a bit awkward. It probably will be, and feel free to give me feedback if you think it's crap. I won't do it again. I'll just go back to my normal one, but I thought I might just give it a try. So anyway. What I'm reviewing today is Australis. It's a new foundation from them. It comes in a stick form. You can't really see that. I'll still put up a picture. So it's called Full On Foundation. It's heavy coverage, so it's for, basically they made it for girls who go out quite a lot, or girls who go out at night and want like a solid foundation. It's pretty full on. It's not something I would wear every day, but it gives you really good kind of, you know, a good base. So it's anyway, I'll show you what it does. And for those of us that have, as you can see, my skin's not great. I've never had great skin. I particularly have like a bindi pimple going on at the moment, so that's not ideal, but anyway, we'll try to deal with that. Cool, so the first step is, this is, obviously optional, but I always put on a moisturiser first, just because I find that putting on foundations straight on, it's quite kind of gluggy and it doesn't go on as smoothly, so I always like to put on a bit of moisturiser, and there's heaps of good ones, but I use just the basic one from Olay. I find the best, and it's also supposed to be good for combating the fine lines that we get. Although personally I don't really mind fine lines. I think they're quite nice. I think they give people character, so but each to their own. And I'm turning 24 in a few days, so I am getting older. And I do get some lines when I smile, but I don't really view that as a bad thing. Each to their own. Anyway, went off on a little bit of a tangent there. Apologies. Cool, so after I've put moisturiser on, it is good, in a stick format. It's really easy to just kind of apply it, but you can, because it is quite heavy, you can always put it on a tissue first and rub it on so that you have a bit more control, or basically just go for it, which is what I do. So I just put it on, and you can see it's it's pretty thick. It's kind of like war paint. I just put it on and then smooth it out, so yeah, just do the main zones. So I just personally find it quite handy to just apply straight as I think it's intended to be applied, just in the stick format, and then just rub it on with my hands. I find is the best, but whatever you find easiest. Oh yeah, it is quite paint-like, so it's pretty heavy. You need to be a bit careful. The one thing that I'm not a huge fan of is it's like, I don't want to say caked on makeup, but it does feel a bit like a mask. It's not a lightweight foundation at all, and they're not pretending that it is. They say that it's heavy coverage. It's called full on foundation, so it's called that for a reason. And you can see that when you apply it, this happens a little bit, so it's because it's quite so heavy, and it happens on your hands as well. It does really kind of stick on there, and it starts to kind of rub off a little bit because there's so much of it. So what I do is I always just apply it kind of like that to the base, and then I just get tissue paper or whatever, toilet paper, because I'm that classy, and then I just kind of just really lightly go over the surface of my face just to make sure I get rid of all those kind of extra bits that have gone on. It's kind of, it's not really flakes, it's like, I don't even know what to call it, just kind of extra, you can see, bits where it kind of, there's just a bit of excess makeup that's a bit too much. So yeah, I always just kind of go over, and a little bit will come off, you'll see, on the tissue, but it's not too bad. Yeah, so like I was saying, you can feel it, like really feel it on there. It's very thick. It's good for going out, I suppose, when you're going to be dancing or whatever, and you're going to be sweating a bit. This is really solid, so it stays on and gives you pretty full-on coverage, which is the point. And so what I will do is just I just use like a basic makeup brush just for any particularly problem areas, which I always seem to have at least one of, at the moment being my bindi. You know, bindis are really nice when they're beautifully applied as they're supposed to be. Indian woman wearing them beautifully, but not so good when it's just a giant pimple in the middle of your face. But, you know, first world problems. So I just kind of cover that up as best as I can in any problem areas that you have. And this is pretty thick, so it really does a good job of covering stuff like that. And then personally, something that I have is I have really, you can say I have really thin skin around my eyes. I always have. I've always been teased by my friends in a lovable way, but for having kind of like transparent skin around here, and you can see my veins a lot, so it's not the most attractive. So I will just again with the brush just get some and put it kind of like specifically around my eyes, just to get rid of those veins. And this makeup comes in a variety of shades. It has heaps, but I got the second lightest one, which is nude, because I'm pretty pasty, so I always have to get the light ones. And then again, you could use a tissue for this, but I've always found that just, you know, using your fingers to smudge makeup or to rub on foundation is pretty much the best tool. And you get right into the corners as well in there. And I'll just go over really lightly again with that, just to get rid of any of those extra bits, extra flakes. And if you wanted to, you could of course, if you feel you need to blend it into your skin tone more, just put it down your neck as well, but this one suits me really well, so I don't feel I need to do that. But you can see you know, it gives you really good coverage. I've still got my bindi there a little bit, but unfortunately I can't do much about that. I just have to live with it until it goes away. So yeah, it's really kind of, it makes it look a lot more even toned and just smoother, so that's good. And I'm gonna finish it off. This is, you know, what I'm doing the review on, but there's no point in stopping here. I may as well finish off basic makeup. So, you know, that's the product in a nutshell, but I am going to use powder foundation. Not everyone uses powder foundation. Some people aren't really into it, but I like using it, especially over something like this, which is quite thick, just to kind of seal it in. So what I use is, it's kind of embarrassing, but I use sheer cover powder, which is not sure if you ever stay up like I have been known to watching infomercials, but this is a brand that has infomercials late at night, so I saw it once and it sold me. So I wanted to try it out and see how it went, and I kind of really love it. So anyway, what I do is just, and you know, you can get pressed powder, so that would be different, but I just kind of sprinkle it into the lid, exactly like they say on the infomercial. And then I just have basic foundation brush from Sheer Cover. Then you just kind of dab it in, so you can see the powder's in there. Just dab it in and then blow on it just to disperse it. I feel like such an infomercial girl, it's a bit embarrassing. And then you just basically go in kind of light circular motions around your face, and that, I just like it. I've always kind of been a fan of putting powder on over the top of other foundations just to, I don't know, seal it in. I don't even think that makes much sense, but you know, in my mind, that's what I've always done. And I know people that really don't like powder foundation because it, you know, it has a particular feel to it, so if it's not your thing, that's fine. And as you could see, the full-on foundation from Australis is, it's really good, so you don't really need this over the top, but this is just something that I do. I just put that a little bit down on my neck. Cool, so you can see that my skin looks a lot better than it did a few minutes ago when I started. So as a foundation, I do rate this. I think it's really good, but it is really, it's just heavy and it's thick and it's not something I would want to wear every day, but I'm definitely into it. But going out when you want to, you know, look really kind of not flawless, but much better than I did before, as you can tell. And then one other thing I'm going to do is just put on some blush. I think a lot of people actually underestimate, that sounds really stupid, but underestimate the power of blush. Sounds so stupid, but my skin looks quite good at the moment with that foundation on. It definitely does the job, but like you look quite washed out, and I just find that people just look so much nicer when they have either a bronzer or like a pink blush. Just to it makes you look healthier. I don't know, I'm into it, but you know, each to their own. So again, I just use a brush. I always keep, if you use powder foundation, always keep a separate brush for it, because as you can see, they kind of become the colour of whatever product you use for them. So the ones that you use for blush do turn kind of pink. They just keep, you know, all the residue and stuff in there. So make sure that you always use separate brushes. I accidentally one time picked up my blush brush instead of my foundation brush, and then just went crazy and kind of turned my face pink, because obviously everything stays in there. So do make sure that you don't make that mistake. Oh, sorry. And I'm using, this is a bit scuzzy, but I'm using my Revlon Photo Ready blush. It's my favourite. I use it all the time. So I do the same. I just blow on the brush a bit, so it's not too thick and full on. And I know that people look like idiots when they put blush on because they smile. So you look like you're just smiling to yourself in the mirror, but it's just to get that, you know, right application. So you can see, I may have put a bit too much on there, but you can see that it just makes it look kind of healthier, and I don't know. I've always thought that people look better with blush on. Okay, and then I'll just put on some mascara. I'm using Model Co's mascara. It's a new one from them. I did a blog on it actually the other day. It's called, oh, it's called Extension Mascara, and it's got 2 steps actually. So it's like lash fibers. I'll just use the first step today, which is like just a basic mascara. This thing though is amazing. It's my favourite mascara, and I did do a blog on it, so I'll put a link and go and check it out, because it's awesome. It's basically the closest you can get to false lashes or to extensions with just a mascara, and I love it. I'm kind of addicted, so. But even just their first step, which is just regular mascara, I think is awesome. Sorry, I would talk, but you know, concentration. But yeah, even just this, you can see it's a really good mascara just on its own, but then with the lash fibers, it's magic. Okay, cool. So that's just a really basic look, although the foundation I think is intended for kind of nighttime wear. If you wanted to, you could wear it just kind of every day. That's my standard makeup that I do for work, just blush, foundation and mascara. And then just because I will finish it off with something else, Australis, I'm just going to put on some of their lipstick. It's called Go Long, so it's their long wear lipstick. They have a whole bunch of shades. It's really nice, just standard lipstick, so I'll put some of that on. I just put on chapstick first. I like to put chapstick on the same way I did with moisturiser before putting on foundation, just to kind of, you know, it makes it easier to go on. Also, I'm someone that's always just just absolutely used my chapstick to death. I'm just one of those people. I don't know, I feel like I can't live without it. Pathetic. But anyway, so this is what shade is this? It's called Preppy. Such a cute name. Lipsticks always have such cute names, but it's just a really, you can see, just a really kind of natural pink. It's just a really pretty colour, so I'll just finish off with that. And this is something that I do wear kind of every day. It's just a really easy to wear colour and quite feminine and pretty. So I really like it, especially because it's, you know, spring at the moment, and I just think pink makeup's quite pretty, so that's that. And I will put more information about this in the blog, but you can see it does make quite a difference. I think it's really good. definitely makes my skin look a lot nicer, but like I said, the kind of flaw with it is quite how heavy it is. It's not called full on for nothing. So if you're not into thick makeup, I wouldn't recommend it. But in terms of coverage, I think it does an awesome job. It's almost covered up my bindi, which is no small feat because that thing is freaking huge. So it's pretty good. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my first video blog. Let me know what you think, and I may or may not do another one. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Okay, bye.